I would say it was my time. It was definitely my time. I guess I needed the experience and all that first prior to coming over to mainline at or regionals.
Welcome to another episode of the Layover Podcast. I'm Bree, your host. Today we have Derrick with us. What's up, Derrick?
Yeah,
Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
no problem. Yeah.
I wanted to have you on because you've taken a journey that many flight attendants have to consider in their flight attendant life, especially flight attendants who start off regionally. So I know for me, like sometimes I'm working the line and I'll work with somebody who's a lot more senior and they're like, "You gonna go mainline?" That's the question, right? And you did that. You went from regional to mainline. So when I first started working as a flight attendant, I didn't even know regional mainline. I didn't know anything about that. I was
Yeah.
like, what is that?
Yeah.
So when you first started as a flight attendant, did you know the difference between regional and mainline?
Um, I didn't know really. So I honestly first off applied for a mainline.
Okay.
And I did the interview process, did all that, and then I don't know, I guess they deferred me for training for the next year, like
Mm.
this year. Yeah, I did my interview in April, did training this year, 2025. Yeah, I did not know it was a regional mainline until when they deferred me for training for this year. One of my old coworkers, she was like, "Why don't you apply for PSA?" And I'm like, I knew there was a PSA because I worked at a hotel prior to that, and I knew like we PSA always laid over at our hotels. So I was like, okay, yeah, but I didn't know they were affiliated. Like,
Hmm.
yeah. So I applied for PSA, just to jumpstart the process. And I think that I was supposed to start there first to get experience. And then
Ah.
so yeah, I have a better appreciation for mainline now.
Mm, okay, that's cool because, well, I think the first flight I ever took, not as a flight attendant or anything, just as a passenger, I'm pretty sure it was a regional flight. I can't remember if it was United or American, but I was flying out of a small city, so it's probably not going to be mainline. And I was going to Houston. It was one of the smaller jets. I'm like, oh, this how y'all in the movies they got lots of TV, and I didn't have no TV,
Yeah.
nothing, just two little seats. And so that was my first flight. And yeah, so I had flown regional, but I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I think a lot of people, because with pilots, they have the flow program where they can go from like regional, then they work for 7 years and can go
Mhm.
straight to a main line or whatever.
Yeah.
Flight attendants don't have that, but it's kind of like an unspoken thing. That's
Well, I guess what's it on was it on yeah Envoy they do that sort of kind of but it's not like a flow. So what like me when I was a PSA and then I went to mainline I had to quit PSA. With Envoy they don't have to quit because they have some type of contractual agreement, yeah, that they don't have to, and if
oh
they don't pass training they can automatically go back to Envoy.
wow.
But I didn't know until I started training with mainline, yeah.
Yeah,
Envoy is like that. I don't know. They have, yes, some contractual agreement thing they got, but I guess PSA and Piedmont doesn't have it because all of us, everyone else had to quit their job. Yeah, so I was like, because I was trying to do the same thing. I'm like, okay, let me just hold on, get me some little time off until just to be secured,
yeah,
that if I don't pass this training, that I could go back to PSA. But it all worked out. So
yeah. But you decided to take the leap even though you weren't secure. You were like, okay, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna go for it. What made you decide to make that decision?
So I wasn't gonna do it because I'm like, I do not want to do training again. I was so over it. I did not want to do training again. And then I was like, I don't want to do all these long flights, like
Mm.
6 hour flights, these 5 hour flights. I'm like, I don't even want to be in a plane that long. But eventually I spoke to some people who were at PSA, and one girl in particular, I worked with her on one trip at PSA, and I told her that what I was doing, and I said I'm second guessing it, and then she convinced me to do it. We were actually in the same training class together too at Mainline. And then she was like, Derek, just come on. And like I thought about it, and I thought about what I'm making now here at Mainline, I probably won't make a PSA for the next probably 5 years.
Hmm.
So I'm like, I need more money, so let me just take this leap. And
Okay.
yeah,
You did it and you're doing it.
I'm
You
doing it.
landed somewhere.
Yeah. And I'm enjoying it too.
Oh, that's great. Even the longer flights and all that, you're enjoying.
Longer flights, yeah. It depends on your crew, so it doesn't really feel as long sometimes, but it is long. But it depends on the crew that you have, and you know how you all gel together.
Hmm.
So majority of my, well, all of my flights, I should say. Let me knock on wood because I don't want no crazy people. Uh,
Right.
all of my flights have been, they've been really cool people actually. Yeah, the planes are bigger, so you don't have to really, I guess, work with everyone.
Hmm.
You have one or two in the front, you have two in the back, and yeah, so you don't really work with everyone per se, but you do.
From a perspective of someone who hasn't worked mainline, it's like I could maybe think, oh, I'm gonna have to work with so many people. Oh my gosh, the planes are bigger. I'm gonna have a lot more work to do. And
Yeah.
then you're saying, well, I'm over there, and because there are so many people, we don't have to work with everybody. So what it looks like from outside versus inside is always a little different.
Yeah, especially the bases that you're at, like if you're at DFW or Philly or New York, you won't probably won't work with everyone. Of course, not everyone, but you won't majority of the people you won't work with or ever see during your tenure there. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
based in DC, so I've worked with a few people like a few times. So, and I don't mind it because they've been cool people that I've worked with.
Hmm.
I've had some crazy weirdos sometimes, but
Gotta make room for them too, you know?
yeah, yeah. But like I was saying, like if they're in the front, like if they're in the front, sometimes you don't really have to work with them because they're in the front. They're dealing with first class. You're dealing with the main cabin.
Mm. On a regional jet, the line between first class and main cabin is not big at all. If you work with somebody you like or don't like, you're gonna
Yep.
feel it.
Yep.
You're
So
all in
yeah,
each other's, yeah.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, mainline is different because they're in the front most of the, especially if they're working in first class. They're so busy they don't even have time to come in the back sometimes. So
Mhm.
hey, you stay in your place, I stay in my place.
Right, right. Do you think the things you worried about as you were deciding if you were actually gonna take the leap and go over there were are those the things you would tell yourself to worry about now that you're there? So you mentioned money as a consideration. Did you have any other things you were like, "Ah, I don't know."
No, because I spoke with people prior to that. They told me that, hey, Derek, you're already a flight attendant, so you should be fine. So I was just, or honestly, just really worried about if what if I don't pass? What if I don't
Mm,
pass the test? What if I don't, what if I don't make it? And I'd be out of a job because I had
right.
to do it. So, yeah, but I realized that what they said that because I was already a flight attendant, it would have been easier for me, and it really was easier for me because
Really.
things I learned at PSA, it was just different verbiage over here at
Mhm.
Mainline. So it was yeah with the security and all that medical. It's still the same things. It's just
Okay.
verbiage that they use.
Okay. Was
Yeah.
the I know the training is like 2 or 3 weeks longer. Was the training much different?
Yeah, the training I would say was probably more extensive because with PSA it's only 4 weeks. Um, Mainline is 6 weeks. You have more because you have more planes, obviously at Mainline, so it was more extensive and more
Hmm.
test taking. You had to do the pool stuff. The medical was way longer because there was more, I guess, more equipment that you had to learn
Hmm.
and hands-on experience that you had to get with the medical part of it. But yeah, it was that's mainly what differs, mainly the amount of planes that you had to learn.
Hmm.
And yeah, basically.
I know that with the regional carriers, first off, turnover is higher for regional for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know, once you're at mainline, you feel like "Oh, I'm here, you maybe you don't want to lose that. But also the competitiveness is different. So at a regional, it's a little easier to get hired, as far as my understanding, than it is mainline. But you were able to get hired both places. What do you think it was about you or your application that made you successful that way?
I don't know. I guess I would just say I was myself. I wasn't expecting to get hired at either or. I was just taking a leap of faith and say, let me try it. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess it was just be you. I just had to be myself. I know it sounds cliche, but
Hmm.
just had to be myself and then put my best foot forward and not think of it really as an interview because basically it was just every I see, hey, these other people they're trying to do the same thing I am doing right now. They're trying to vie for the same, I guess, position. Yeah, so I didn't look at them as competitors. I looked at them as peers because I got to know especially at PSA, and with our interview, I got to know a lot of people from there, and they were in the same training class as me there from the interview. So
Wow.
that was even, better. So yeah, prior to the us going to the group to the group interview portion of it at the PSA interview, yeah, I got to know people, and it made it easier for me to feel more open and comfortable and just be myself in the interview in front of all those, I guess, 17 people, who a bunch of it was at the time. Yeah, Mainline was basically the same thing. Prior to that, you just have, you're in the waiting area waiting to start the interview process, and you're just seeing all these new faces, and people are just, being friendly.
Hmm.
Like, if it's fake or not, they're being friendly, and it's coming off as yeah. But they were friendly, and I guess I'm a outgoing person, so once I feel comfortable with you, I get just to it eases the pressure of everything. So yeah, and then going into the room was like, okay, there's a piece of cake. This is just like high school, or I not so much college, but guess like high school, because you friends with everybody in high school basically.
Right.
Yes.
Everybody has their little group and whatnot.
Yeah.
I
So
still have friends from my interview.
really?
I do.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I have friends from both interviews. I had friends who I was interviewing with at Mainline and PSA, and we're still we still talk or text every now and again. Yeah.
Hmm. If you were going to give someone else advice about getting hired, mainline, what would you say?
Hmm. I would say uh don't think about the training process of it. Don't think about, oh, what if I don't pass? What if I don't do this? And just, be optimistic about it. You've made it that far. Everyone doesn't make it that far with Mainline. As they told us in at the, I guess, orientation first day of the training session. This is like Harvard, not to make it sound hard, but it's like Harvard. This training is harder than getting into Harvard. So I thought of that as, okay, I guess I'm one of the elites, I guess. So I didn't think of it as oh my God. Afterwards, I didn't think of it as, oh, what if I don't pass? What if I don't do this? I just thought of it as, okay, I'm here now. I'm here for a reason. Um, I don't know if do people believe in God and stuff. God wouldn't bring me this far to just say, hey, let me go here and just leave me right there, just like that. So
Hmm.
I just put my foot forward and just let it all flow out.
Hmm. I wonder if your faith plays a role because the little that I do know of you and hearing your story today, it sounds like you mentioned at the beginning, like you took a leap of faith. Well, I don't know if I'm even gonna pass the training, but I'm gonna quit anyway. Or I don't know, maybe you're working at a hotel, maybe I'll be a flight attendant. I'm gonna fly. And for some reason, you're taking these leaps of faith. That takes courage. What's giving you that courage?
I don't know. I guess I would say my background growing up. I didn't grow up in America. So I guess my mom, she instilled in me so much of, having faith in God, and even if it's as big, if it's as big as a mustard seed, just have faith in it. And I guess because I went to a Christian college as well. That
Mm-hmm.
helped me a lot more too into being so much optimistic in things and not letting things bring me down because, power is in the tongue. I don't say, oh, I'm not gonna make it. I'm saying that, hey, this black, white, Hispanic, or Asian baby Jesus is gonna help me make it there. So I just leave it up to either one of those baby Jesuses, and listen, it has been getting me through. Okay.
That's what's up. That's definitely what's up. So now that you've been at Mainline for a while, and I think you have an interesting perspective because some people go direct Mainline, like you were going to do that until they deferred your training, so you wouldn't have had the regional experience. What do you think of the two? How do you compare them?
I would say PSA is more coming from PSA is more much of a close-knitted family because obviously you get to stay with your flight attendant person for for the entire, sequence or 3 days or how much ever it is. Even with the pilots there, you get to stay with them the entire time.
Is that
So
not the case at Mainline?
no, only once have I had the pilot stay with me the entire 3 days. Yes. You could be at Mainline, you could go to from DC to Miami, and in Miami you get into new pilots.
Oh, wow.
Go from Miami to and after DC to Miami and you go from Miami to let's say Columbus, Ohio. You getting two new pilots from there too. And they coming on the plane, you're like, oh, okay, we changing pilots every leg.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that differs from it because the plane is so big. This how we do it in mainline is number one, number two, number three, number four. Depends on what type of plane it is. So if you're the number two or the number four, mainly so the number two, you don't even get to see the pilots sometimes
Hmm. Wow.
because the number two stays in the aft galley. So they're, setting up the cart and everything in the back there. So most times when I'm number two, I don't see the pilots unless they are coming to brief us on, hey, there's gonna be some turbulence, the flight time, and it's not. But some of them don't. They don't do that. So
Hmm.
that also is the difference between mainline and PSA because PSA it's only two of you, so you get to see the pilot each time. Yeah, sometimes I've not seen who the pilots were. I just either talk to them on the phone or just hear their
Wow.
voices over the PA system or something. Yeah,
Huh. That is super.
that's a big difference with it. With
I,
PSA, you could go. I've had at PSA where we went out with both pilots most of the all the time. Basically, if we decide to go out, at mainline is like, uh, are we going out? Are we not? And sometimes we won't even stay at the same hotel as the pilots. We stay at different hotels as the pilots.
I've
So
heard that. I've heard about
yeah, so it's like, oh, okay, this is interesting. They didn't stay in the same hotel as us. Okay,
that.
so who's gonna call the van?
Right. No, seriously.
Yeah, so most times the person who's in the back calls the van or if the pilots are going to the same hotel as you, they call the van. So
Hmm.
that's not to worry about. But yeah, even if we are staying in the same hotel as the pilots, sometimes they don't speak. Sometimes their attitude is poor or something. It depends on. I say it depends on the base because
Okay, every base has its own little thing. I feel like that's
yeah,
also the same regionally. You're like,
yeah,
oh, that
yeah,
one over there, they don't really, you know.
yeah.
Every base has its reputation for sure. Hmm, that's interesting with the cruise. About how many people would you say you're working with on average?
Like you mean in a sequence or what do you mean? Like
So say, I guess we're doing the leg from Miami to Columbus. How many flight attendants are you working with?
so it depends on the plane as well. So if it's a 7-3 or a 321, you're
Hmm.
working it's four flight attendants.
Okay, that's not
If
bad.
it's a 319 or a 320, they're 319, 320, they're like considered baby buses.
Hmm.
So it's only three flight attendants there.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
if you're because I'm based in DC, it's a national airport, so I don't do like mainly those 777s or the 787s where it has to have like I think up to 10 flight
Yeah,
attendants.
those I know when I'm going overseas, it's they got two in the back, two in the they got a lot.
Yeah,
Even the
yeah.
jump
So
seats, I'm counting like, oh, it's a lot of people in.
yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot on that one. I haven't done those yet. Because I'm DC and it's a national airport, so we don't do those ones. I'd have to transfer to like Philly or New York or
The
Dallas.
long haul. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been an experience so far. Yeah, I'm 10, but next month's gonna make 11 months and January's gonna make a year I've been at Mainline. So
Ooh, got a year
yeah.
coming up.
I'm excited because the pay going up, listen, the
Yes.
experience going up, the seniority going up.
Okay.
And I was the first class of this year, so I was fortunate to get a line no, not three, 2 months out of training.
Listen,
I was
if you
fortunate.
listen to this, do not expect that to happen to you. Okay.
No, yes, no, don't, yeah, do not expect it to happen to you. Because I'm DC based, DC and Boston are two junior bases.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
was 20 class 2501. I got a, that's how I was able to manage to get a line out of, 2 months after training. So
Hmm.
it was easier there. But the contractual tenure of being on reserve is 2 years.
Okay.
But I would say next month I'm on reserve again because I guess because it's slow or something that they don't need as much line holders. So no one in my class 2501 I was like number four in seniority from my 2501 class.
Hmm.
So none of us got it, but we've been holding a line since May.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's a special thing right there. You got
yeah, so I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta work on reserve. Oh gosh, I gotta find a hotel.
right. It's a project, man. Being on reserve. It's a whole
And
different ballgame.
commuting is a different that's a different ball game too. So
Yes, definitely.
yeah, so don't expect to get a line right off of out of training because if you're a 2510 or a 2610 class 20 whatever later down you won't get in the line till later on if you're in DC or Boston. So I've worked with class 2512, 2514, and I'm like, give yourself probably till next year, summer or fall, then
Hmm.
you'll probably be a line holder because yeah, you have a lot of classes coming next year, so
Yeah.
my seniority going up, so I'll be probably a consistent line holder next year. So
Ooh. Seniority makes such a big difference because you that quality of life piece when you have a line, you can predict what's coming next, you could plan better,
hmm
all that. Now, I was working with someone who was considering going mainline after having worked regional for like 10 years. So she's in a good place seniority wise at regional where she's getting pretty much what she wants schedule wise. She can go to any base and still hold a line. And the likelihood of her like getting kicked out of the line holders is like 1%.
yeah.
So she's considering all that, having had that for, I guess, maybe it takes you 3 years to get a line. So for 7 years, she's been her A1 with her schedule.
Yeah.
If she decides to go mainline from PSA specifically, her seniority is going to go back to right at the beginning.
Mhm.
And so she's like, well, I don't know. Now that I built so much seniority here, my pay is a little higher. Should I even go over there? I feel like that would be a hard one to let go. For you, you worked regionally for less than a year,
Yeah, it was 6 months. Yeah.
6 months.
So
Okay, so seniority.
yeah, it was like, okay, my seniority ain't that good anyway. So ain't no big deal with going transferring over here because I'm still junior, still way
Right.
junior. I was based in Charlotte too. So it was like, I definitely ain't getting the line no time soon.
It wasn't a big concern for you.
Yeah, no. So that's what I was like, that's another thing that made me took the leap because it was like, okay, I ain't 5, 7, 10 years down the line. So I didn't want to wait until that long and then I'm like 40 and I'm like, oh, I don't even want to do this anymore. Like, do
Mhm.
I really want to go transferring over to mainline? No. So I was like, let me do it now whilst I'm young. I still have some knowledge of training
Mm, mm.
months ago. And I don't have to worry about my seniority, starting over and what's not, and don't have to be worried about, oh my gosh, I'm getting all these good trips now. I'm getting all
Right.
these nice layovers. I'm getting the days I want off. I'm getting holidays off. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now it's work me the holiday, work me whatever. I'm still junior, so I don't even care right now?
I feel it. I feel it. Okay, so as we're closing, maybe what are some reasons you think people stay regional or some good reasons why maybe they should stay regional?
A lot of people stay regional because I want to say because they don't like the long haul. I know we have a lot of senior mamas and papas at regional, not from seniority, but like within age. So they want to stay regional because they don't like the long haul flights. They don't want the 6 hours. They don't want the Tokyo. They don't want those overseas, way overseas. Because the most, I guess, PSA or regional goes overseas is what, probably Canada.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
across land. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Bahamas. Yeah.
Yeah, so the longest flight I ever did at PSA was my from Charlotte to OKC, and that was 3 hours. And I
Okay.
was like, oh my gosh, no. That was that was my only flight I did, the longest one, and that was like, okay, I guess I'm preparing for mainline. Okay, yeah. But the thing is with that, with PSA and mainline and that aspect is that it's bigger planes, so I get to walk up and down and not to feel so sleepy. But
Mm,
PSA is just a small plane, so it's like you take 2 feet and you're in the back already. You're in the app.
exactly right.
With mainline, it's like a long walkway that you got to go through with all those passengers, and then and you have a bigger aft galley, so you get to have your jump seat, you get to sit down, and then if no passengers in the back seat like we do at PSA too. You get to clear off the back row for yourself and you'll just
Okay.
yeah.
Have your little moment or whatever.
Yeah, have you just to take a little breather.
Yeah.
So yeah, they don't go because of they're 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 comfortable there. And they don't feel that they want to start over and they don't want to go through all that again. Oh, they got kids, they got grandkids, but how is it going to look? They starting over and starting with pay. I guess I don't know. They're making like $60 an hour there now. They're gonna go from that to now making 35.86 or 68 at
Yeah.
Mainline, starting from the beginning.
I think
Because
the responsibility definitely plays a role because if not only if you already have had a line for a while, if you have small kids and you go back to being on reserve, it might be difficult for you.
yeah, it will. It really will. Because being on reserve ain't no joke.
That's real. That's real. What about going mainline? What are some top reasons to go mainline?
People really go Mainline for the pay, for sure. They want the longer flights. They want the Tokyo. They want the all those other ones. I guess more of sort of the benefits because I guess PSA is still waiting on the new contract, right? Are they?
Waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, they our contract, we have the contract, we have board and pay, which just started yeah, this year, I think June or something like that. So I got in at the right time.
You
We got
did.
the board and pay, we get the sit pay. Um, what else we got? Anyway, it's a plethora of benefits that we get more for than as opposed to a regional that they mainly go for. They
Mm.
mainly go because me personally too, while I am here, while I'm there now, here at Mainline now, I'm like, okay, instead of me having to pay the taxes to go and go to Jamaica or go to the DR, let me just pick up a flight to go there, pick up a trip to go there.
Ah,
And
yeah.
let them pay for my hotel.
Okay. Yeah.
My hotel there, yes.
You're on to something. You're on to something.
Yeah. So
That's
that's mainly one of the reasons why people, or a few of the reasons why people just go to Mainline because they want better.
um,
Yeah.
okay, my last question. So it actually came up because of things I've been hearing you saying. Like so I don't know, you got some luck going. You come in, first of all, you get mainline and you get regional. Then you
Mhm.
get over to mainline, you get a line sooner than anybody's ever going to get a line ever. You
Yeah.
come over with a new contract with boarding pay. And something else that's special about you that I had forgot about at first was that you got offered an interview, not because we're talking about mainline here, and mostly we're talking about American Eagle, but there's also mainline on Delta and regional on Delta and mainline on United. You also didn't you get an offer or interview at Delta too?
I did. Yes, yes, I did. I turned it down because I did not, like I said before, I was not expecting or really wanting to come over to mainline. I didn't want to do training again. So
Mm.
that's why I turned it down because I'm like, I don't go through all that again. I know Delta is based in Atlanta where I live. And but my thing with that was too, it was no guarantee I was gonna get Atlanta as a base because I was so junior. And Atlanta is a senior base. It's just like being in Dallas at American. So yeah. So that's why I turned it down because I'm like, I don't want to do all this again. Yeah. And I already had the uniform for American. So I'm like, I'm gonna stay at American.
There you go. Some people wait years and years for that interview with Delta.
Yeah.
There's,
Yeah.
there's
So
something. That's why I was asking, what is it about you? What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm just because I not I that was probably my fourth or fifth time applying to Delta and I got it. It was surprising. I guess I would say it was my time. It was definitely my time. I guess I needed the experience and all that first prior to coming over to mainline at or regional so I feel that being at regional helped me to pass these tests and these quizzes and all these physical tests and stuff that we had to do with mainline because I had the experience and I understood what was what was expected
Mm.
of me from there. So yeah, it was I guess it was my time from there.
Okay, Derek. Well, I love your faith, your positivity, man, and just what you're up to, and look forward to seeing what you do in the future.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. No problem. Thank you for having me.
So I introduced myself. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Layover Podcast. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow. You can also leave a review on Apple Podcasts. That helps me know what you're enjoying hearing, what you'd like to hear more of, some topics I can factor in for the next episodes coming in the future. We have some really good stuff on the way, so I hope you'll tune in for that. And remember, sometimes you have to lay over to go further.